All right. I think we have an exciting Q&A. I think with Azu and Floor presenting, maybe more. And I think
Yeah,
the overlaying topic is about AI. And I think both are pretty proficient, so they wanted to demo some cool stuff and workflows that they hope are helpful for the entire team. So Azu, go ahead.
yeah, sure. Um, so what I wanted to talk about is some workflows that we use at Reach, and I also personally use that I believe that helps us shipping faster without really sacrificing much of quality that we deliver. Um, so the main problem that I see these days, if you look across LinkedIn, Reddit, or whatever, like businesses really want to build things faster because you also have this feeling of, okay, AI really accelerate things. So we can sell more than ever, we can create more than ever. So speed has become a very competitive thing. But the main problem is how do we create things that are quality, and we also take a lot of pride on the things that we build. How do we keep the architecture patterns intact, and how do we keep the code maintainable? Um, so one of the ways I believe that solves this problem is having a structured workflow with fine-tuned agents that can tackle part of the workflows. Um, so this is kind of the five-phase workflow that I've been playing with. It's if you think about it, it's also the same way that we do develop any feature development. You would brainstorm on something, and you would architect a design solution, and you would make a plan for it, go to implementation phase, and do the review and get the feature shipped. So the trick is using something to force you on this workflow. If you look at the agentic coding tools today, Cloud Code, Codex, they also have some sort of these things built into their own mechanisms. But the problem is they don't really force you to go into these kinds of workflows. So the solution here is agent harness frameworks, things like superpowers. Bart was playing with something called Get Shit Done. There's something called Everything Cloud Code. All these things do is forces the users in a disciplined workflow. So we can do some brainstorming with it, create design plans and implementation plans with it so that it becomes more structured. Um, so when you look at what these things are, they're actually a bunch of skills that are defined in a single framework, but very focused on each of these phases. So what it happens is, for example, when it's brainstorming with you, it would launch some agents, explore the code base and any documentation that's available, and it will interview you back. Okay, is this how you want to do it? Is this how you want to do it? Like, these are the options that we can do. What is the option that you would like to do? So it's a very insightful and eye-opening session because you get sometimes also very surprised by what the solutions and the approaches that it comes up with, so that you can really put your thinking head into the implementation of the feature very early in the process. So once it's done with brainstorming, uh, it would go to creating a design plan, which where it kind of captures all the requirements that you discussed with it before during the brainstorm session, and it would create a design plan. It also sometimes do reviews, self-review on the design plan. So what then it would compare the created design with the requirements that you discussed. If there are any loopholes, it would refine it itself and enrich this design plan. And then it would wait till you review it. If you said the design plan is okay, it would create an implementation plan. So what it does then is it would analyze the code base, and yeah, it also would follow the any instructions that comes from the Cloud MDs or Agents MD files, and it would create an implementation plan. Many times it would do like multiple reviews on it. So it would create an implementation plan. Implementation plan is something that is like very concrete, very close to the code. So it would have code segments, database migrations, things like that. And it would compare the implementation plan with the design plan and the requirements, iterate upon creating a nice implementation plan. What you would see, you see some chunks. That's how it kind of structures the implementation into different pieces. And then you get the opportunity to review it. These are just MD files, by the way. So once you review it, you can really take your hands off and let AI do the coding for you, because at this point, it's like a really refined thing that you can really trust that it would be nicely implemented. At the end of this process, there would be a verify code review and test phase. Superpowers also has a code review skill. So if you kind of monitor the console, you would see Superpowers loading the code review skill and going in the loops by reviewing the code and correcting itself. This is also an opportunity for you to review the code as well. So this is what I usually do. We can also go into each of these phases a bit closely. So during the brainstorming session, it's a good opportunity to identify the right problems, what to build, what not to build, scoping questions. And it's very important to have the right tools, skills, and MCPs so that it has the opportunity to get the right context, load the correct skills, and get more informed decisions. This is also where the domain expertise shines a lot, because it basically presents you multiple options. So at the end, it's up to us to decide what option to take and move forward. One of the other tools that I'm using, Whisperflow, which is quite nice because it's a voice typing tool. I can show you a little bit more later in the presentation. Phase 2 is architecture collaborative planning. So what we try to do, especially in Team Reach, once we have a design plan, we groom that plan with the team, because I don't know everything. I would like to get other people's feedback on this. So we go with the plan to the team, and we review the plan. So and we answer any questions, refine it, and make it more rich with the team's comments. This is the most fun part, at least for me. Once you are done with all the implementation planning, you are at the place that you want to implement. Superpower skill has sub-agent driven development, which means in the previous phases, it would also identify the things that you can execute in parallel. If it finds something like that, it would spawn multiple agents to create multiple things in your code base. The pattern that I usually follow is I start a feature in one branch. So that means it would implement one chunk. Once it's done, before I start reviewing the code, I tell Cloud to start the next implementation in a work tree immediately before I go reviewing the code. The benefit of a work tree is you can still review your code in your own branch, and the second agent would create the new changes on top of your branch changes without really impacting the code that you are reviewing. The downside is if there are any review comments from the branch that you need to change, can impact the second chunk of the work that was created in the work tree. So if that's the case, you have to propagate that back to the work trees as well. So then I would go in this loop. So the next feature in a different work tree, and then I would review the first work tree. So it goes on like this. I would also need to mention this sometimes feels a little bit chaotic because, yeah, you have to kind of manage things a little bit in parallel. yeah, some key insights that I've been seeing is these things really matter, like architecture decisions, the best practices. ADR lookup especially has been like a game changer for me, especially when you're creating APIs, so that it knows, okay, I need to follow these patterns. I've been playing with exposing ADRs as skills. It works somewhat, but not very well during the sub-agent developments. And we also try to enrich our repository level agent instructions if we see a mistake, so that the next time, hopefully, it does not do it the second time. Yeah, that is it for the development part. And then I want to show the other tool that I was talking about, Whisperflow. This is a dictionary tool. The nice part of it is like it is very context aware, and it has its own dictionary. It's like all these things that you see here is the one that it kind of learned by itself. I can also show like a small demo. It is very nice when you are kind of like in flow mode, in a brainstorming mode, because you have to tell a lot of things, and then it's sometimes very annoying to type. Yeah, if you like one of the frequent, Supabase is already here in the dictionary, so I would delete it. And if I go here on my Slack, if I say we need to add a new edge function in Supabase, so it writes Supabase like this, like Supabase, but it's written like this. The next time, if I say we also need to add some migrations, so do you see the added Supabase to your dictionary part? So it added the autocorrection here. And if I say, let's also sync all the tables to Supabase, so the next time it gets Supabase right, which is very nice. Like for like names like Bertrand, it always gets like right something different. Milosh, like it even captured like his new Polish characters, which I find it really nice. It's also very context aware. If you say, I want to go to Utrecht. Sorry, no, I want to go to Amsterdam. So it says, I want to go to Amsterdam. So it's very context aware. So that makes a difference when you especially brainstorm, because you say something and say, oh, no, you do the other thing. Then it really shines on those cases. The other thing that I want to show is CoreWork Dispatch. This is for like premium procrastinators like me. If you hate creating slides, for an example, I pushed it till like today's morning, and I realized, oh shit, I have to create like some sort of slide set. So while having a coffee, I had the mobile app installed on my phone, and I told Cloud Dispatch to create a slideshow with these details. I had kind of created some notes before on my laptop. And so once I'm done with the coffee and I'm sitting on my desk, I had the presentation that you just show. Like 70% of it was created by Claude itself. So I just had to do some minor edits. Yeah, so I think these are all the ways that we can be productive. Of course, it's not everything is perfect. Yeah, so this is what I feel. Coding is not the bottleneck anymore. So before we used to spend more time in writing code, smaller parts of problems. I think what enables at least me is to spend more time in problem solving bigger problems. And I feel like thinking is valuable more than ever, especially because during the brainstorming and architectural decision parts. That is it from me.